Hello, this is Dario Marjali, and today I'm going to review Chapter 2 of the course Project Management Foundations on LinkedIn Learning. This chapter talks about the documents you have to prepare for the project. The first document is called the Problem Statement and Project Goal Document. Regarding the problem, you have to identify the problem the project intends to solve. For that, you have to go around and ask questions, ask people questions. For example, why they want this or that? Why do you have these problems? For example, that's another good question to find those answers you need. Regarding the goal, for the goal, describe the result the project must deliver in plain English. The second document you have to create is called Objectives Solution Document. Objectives need to be measurable. For example, of something measurable is that you can create surveys and pass them on to people so that you can measure, see what the survey says. You need to have SMART project objectives. Those are specific objectives, measurable and achievable and realistic and time related. An example of objectives: reduce procedural errors by 50%. The third document you need to create is called Deliverables and Their Success Criteria Solution Document. This one lists the deliverables, the end deliverables, and then next to it, it puts the success criteria. So for example, a deliverable, an end deliverable would be new scheduling system, and then it has a success criteria. When do we know we really have a new scheduling system? When staff is using it to do things. So that's the success criteria. The fourth document is called Requirements Solution Document. And she doesn't go much into it yet because gathering requirements is a long process, and they're gonna probably cover it in later chapters. Then the fifth document you have to create for a project is called Project Charter. The project charter authorizes the project. It dictates project manager's authority. So it says this project manager names them. The project manager has the authority related to staffing, budget, decisions, conflict, and so on. So it gives this guy or lady some powers. And then it also lists the sponsor of the project. And then also says what is the authority of the project sponsor. For example, the project sponsor can just cancel the project, right? The sixth document that must be created is called Stakeholders Analysis Document. And this document lists each stakeholder and has several columns, including advisors, meaning who's the advisor for this stakeholder. That means that's the person you have to go to, that's their supervisor, their line manager. And if you have a problem with that stakeholder, you probably have to go to their advisor. And then it has other columns as well. The seventh document you have to create is called project strategies. There are multiple strategies to achieve the project goals. So here you list the different strategies and you give them a value, like this is the most likely one or not. It's used for brainstorming. The final document they talk about that you need to create at this point is called the project scope statement. Scope means what is included or not in the project. The deliverables help you define the scope. Scope is needed to remind stakeholders that what they agreed to and prevent scope creep. Project scope statement document includes project scope, what is within or outside the scope, assumptions it includes, which means, for example, at the beginning of a project, you may not be sure who's going to do what, so you mention what you have assumed. 3, it also includes risks. And then finally, it has the project constraints. The project constraints is something like a budget. I have a budget of $700,000. Well, that's your project constraint. Or project must be completed by such and such date. So that was it, chapter 2.